Good evening, everyone. It is Make It Monday. It is Monday, January 11th. Today is my oldest son's birthday, and I know that you probably can't believe it. I can't believe it. I'm sure you can believe it, but he is 32 this year. That is just insane. How can I possibly be the mom of a 32-year-old son? But very happy and very proud of him. Um, But yes, I have some very fun things to show you. Actually, it was something that you guys asked for. So I decided to comply. And I love bringing you things that you're excited about. So I'm happy that you're as excited as I was about this project. And I'm also excited because I took it to another level, and maybe you won't like it. But so it's a card, but it's morphed into something totally different. And it's all my daughter's fault because she buys these things and sits them around and doesn't use them. And then I have to find a use for them. So that's what happened with this as another project that I have that turned out really cool. So I hope you like it as much as I did. Let me just make sure we're connected. And so I hope as you pop, say hello, let me know you're here. Um, so, yeah, let's get started. Um, oh, another thing that I always forget to say this, but take a second right now. I will give you a minute, um, maybe 30 seconds, to share this with a friend. And I think since you guys asked for it, hopefully you'll like it a lot. And it's going to be something that you will want to share with a friend, with a crafty friend on your page, however you want to do it. Share it with a friend. I will be giving a free giveaway next Monday. I will do the drawing, and I will be giving away a set of the matte black dots embellishments, which is what one of the things I'm going to be using today. So that will be my drawing. And so let me know that you shared it in the comments, because otherwise I can't really see that you shared it. So it's an honor system. And before we get into the project, I need to announce the winner of last Monday's Make It Monday um, live drawing. So this is our pastel pearls. And don't forget, again, you get a ticket for commenting, and you get a ticket for sharing. So our winner from last week was Debbie Buchanan. So congratulations, Debbie. These will be in the mail to you. So whether you're seeing this on Facebook live or later on YouTube, the same applies. I will check YouTube as well for comments up until next Monday when I do the drawing. So, all right. So that should have given you enough time to go share that. So let's get started. The cool thing is our new catalog has started now. So I can actually show you these products in the catalog. So that's exciting. All right. Let me switch over to my other screen. And so this is, I took the card that I showed you and I turned it into this little, it's like a metal lantern with glass in it. And I have the candle out right now so that I can turn this sideways. I'm trying to stay away from that light up there. Anyways, I'm going to show you how to make that little piece in the back, which is my card. And I'm going to just really quick try something. Let me sit that down here. Well, that's going to be bright. Let me scoot that back as far as I can. Okay, so I'm going to switch to a screen here and give me, oops, that's not what I want. Why is that coming up? All right, here we go. So I want to show you some pictures of this just because it's easier to show you in a photo because I can get a better angle. So this is what I just showed you. I've got little hearts hanging down, and I'm going to show you how I did that. Whoops, I went the wrong direction. So that's a little closer up. You can see there that I have little strips of window sheets with those hanging on. And then that's a side view in the door. Obviously, I'm not going to put a real candle in there because, yeah, not a good idea, right? Okay, so we'll go back to the screen. All right, so the things that I'm showing today are on page 11 of the catalog. This is a suite of products, and if you look on page 10, you'll see the Love You Always Sweet collection will give you everything that's on this page. Just makes it easier to order. You still get the discount when you get the bundles. You get the 15% discount when you buy a bundle. And those are shown on the next page. I'm sorry, it's 10% discount. Those are both shown on the next page so you can see them in a larger fashion. But this is where you see everything that's in the suite. And it is all just fabulous. So I'm going to show you here. This is the foil paper. It comes in 3 colors. And then this is the foil designer paper, and it comes in 3 colors and 3 prints. And so I have that here. I showed this the other day when I was showing the papers. So you can see the prints there. And then this paper, True Love designer paper, is just black and white with gorgeous patterns. And we are going to use that for the flower cutout. I'm going to use this piece right here. Okay. So really cool. You can make those any color that you want. If you sponge them, I showed that in a few other videos. I sponged some, and in this one I'm going to color these. So yeah, so check that out. I do not have either of these sets yet. And so I am actually, I'm going to be showing some things with the set on page 15. Because I bought this set because I really like the die cuts, but I love those other ones too. So they're on the list. Just can't get it all at one time. But I'm going to show you, I used this little die cut here and this one here, and I'll show you what I did with that. Okay, let me get started because that's what you want to see, right? Okay, so what I started with is I started with little strips of that foil paper, and I did not measure it. I sort of wanted them to be different sizes. You can see those are 2 different sizes. Let me pull out my stuff here. There's lots of little pieces to this, so I hope you'll give me some grace for a minute. So they definitely curl when they're sitting out in the open. I keep my foil papers in the bag that they came in. I think dry air tends to make the bottom dry out. So, okay, so we'll start with those. Let me just pull out all my pieces here so that I can get to them. I have this sheet of designer paper. You can see I've already used some of it. And I'm going to show you, oops, I lost a piece there. Okay, so I have Sahara Sand as my base card. I have a strip of 3.5 by 5.5 basic black. And then I have 2 strips of the designer paper that are 5.5 inches long. They will go along the edge. And then I have a scrap of white for my saying, and I have a piece of 3 by 4 in the medium pink, in the pink color. It's not the bright pink, it's more blushing bride maybe. And that's going to go on here. We have to work with that too. So let's see, I'm missing, oh, here's my 2 pieces. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to first, I need some scrap paper. I don't want to get glue all over everything. So what I did was I just took some green glue and I just put some adhesive down, put my strip down, and I just did every other, yeah, I varied the colors. What do I want to say? What's my word? Boy, I tell you, these things late at night are difficult because my brain just doesn't work anymore. Okay, so you can see what I did. I just did every other one. Yeah. You know the word. I know you're sitting there saying it. You can type it in if you want. You can help me out. Okay. So, anyway, so I just kept doing that until I got to the bottom. And then I just trimmed that off. And by the magic of television, I have a piece that's already done. And I just need to trim the edge here. So I'm going to grab my little chomper trimmer. Works great for this. Because it's glued on, you've got your base black piece and larger pieces. And so I knew that my other trimmer could possibly catch a little bit. It is possible to use it, but it's definitely going to be easier with this one. I know these are not available right now. They are still available to anyone who joins my monthly club. And if you want more information about that, just post club in the comments and I will make sure you get that information. And okay, so I've trimmed the edge off of that. And on my card that I showed you, my strips were fairly even. I'm going to try using, this was a little piece that I had cut off and had left over. And I thought it was so cute. And so I'm going to try to do some different sizes this time. And so let me just go in here. I'm going to make one that's a little bigger than that piece. And I'm just lining it up with a line. I'm not measuring, but I'm just I'm eyeballing it, making sure it's straight. And then for this one, you have to make sure you're pushed down on this piece here because that's holds your paper in place. And you can hear it chomping on that. Okay. So there's that little piece. Just a little bit this one. And I'm going to do 2 more pieces. Let's see. I'm going to do a little smaller. And see if that will work. Oh yeah, that looks pretty. Okay, so lining them up here. Here's my larger piece. Yeah, I like that a lot. Okay, so now that I have those done, chopped up, I'm going to just glue them onto here. And what I did with my piece is I didn't want them all lined up the same. You can see here, whoops, if I put them all together like this, they will all be the same pattern. So what I did was I flipped it over. I flipped some of them over. I'm going to go ahead and flip this one over. And then you can see they're longer than my piece that I'm using. And so then I just sort of decided, okay, where do I want this one? Let me move this one up here, and so on. Okay, so not difficult. I'm going to go ahead and glue this with my green glue. I'm sorry, it is called Tombow liquid glue. In the catalog, I forget what they call it. It's not, they don't call it Tombow. It's just called multi glue, I believe. But I think green glue describes it. It's got a green bottle. Okay. Yes, the glue is not green, but you know what I mean. At least you guys that come to class, you know what I mean. You always know what I mean when I say green glue. All right, let's see. This one about there. Looks like I chewed that one up just a little bit. Just leaving a little bit of space in between each one. And then when we're finished, we can trim everything up. It's like you don't want to throw anything away once you're done with these. When you have all these little pieces left, you don't want to pitch anything. Oops, I don't like how that's lining up there. That's not good. Wasn't paying attention. Let me see if I can move that. Nope. Okay, maybe this one will move. Oh well. I'm probably not going to use that whole piece anyway, so it's all good. It's all good. Okay, so let's get the little trimmer back here again and make sure I don't have any wet glue here that's going to gum up my trimmer. I'm going to stick this in here and just put the edge of my last black strip to the edge there. And just trim down my piece. This one's going to be a little smaller than my previous one, but that's okay. I mean, I wanted it to be a little different. I don't want both cards to turn out exactly the same. And then let me get a chop off the top there. And I'm actually going to use my scissors here to get this last little piece. Okay. So there's our decorative piece. Isn't that cool? Get it up here so you can see. It's hard for you to see the colors, but because it's so shiny. All right, so that's our little mosaic piece. And the next thing I want to do is I want to create something with this. And we have an embossing folder. Our subtle embossing folder works fabulous with the foil. Any of the embossing folders look beautiful with the foil. Don't forget to do that with your foil papers. It's just a great way to use them. I'm trying to make space here so I can get my boss up here. This is our daddy embossing folder. I need my piece of, okay. So I'm going to put it in here. Now mine is our old version. So I think that it takes, let me see, I want this straight now. It takes just one sheet of this. It's a really heavy 3D embossing folder. And so I'm going to take away my number 2 plate because I don't need that. That's for die cutting. I'll put this back in. And I just need one of my clear plates. And I'm going to put that in fold first so that it supports the embossing folder and it won't break as easily if you put that fold through first. I have had some get ruined if you put the open end in first, because that presses down, and as you're turning it, if there's any unevenness as to how the machine is rolling, you could be pushing the one side back and the other side not, and it will break your fold. Or it will refold it and then it doesn't line up. But isn't that beautiful? And I had another embossing folder. Oh, here, is that it? Yeah, I don't see it. Okay. So when I did the black piece, there's a lot of black showing, and I have issues with flat paper. So I did the sample with the words. There's a word embossing folder, which is not here. I'm not seeing it. Oh, there it is. Hallelujah. I just picked it up with the other. I do need to use, our new one is gray. This is from the old catalog, and it was blue, and it's easier for me to find than the new gray one. The gray one actually comes with the die cutting machine. And this one, I don't know if you can see it. Let me just see if I can hold it up here for you, right under the camera. So can you see how much wider this one is than this one? So they're both 3D embossing folders. This is just the old style. So if you have some of the old style, you use one plate, one clear plate. If you have this new style, you will use no clear plates. You will use the purple plate. It's a little bit thicker than the clear plate. Okay. So again, I don't need number 2, so I have that off. And I'm going to put it in here so that my words are going across the page. And for this, you need to make sure it's fairly lined up. Okay. Fold in first. No matter which way you're going, fold goes in first. And then okay. Take that out. Oops. very small space that I sit in, so it's fun to try to get everything in place. Okay, so hopefully you can see that. I have trouble seeing that on my screen, but there you go. Okay, so we're ready to put everything together. Gonna go, I did score this at 5.5 because I don't ever fold this paper this direction. It's going against the green, and it will buckle on you. So if you score it first, it's going to give you a really clean fold. Now I do want these pieces to go slightly underneath my black, but I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to glue my black piece first. I'm going to be careful because I did emboss this, and that means the Stampin' Seal Plus does like to pull my paper up. So if it starts to do that, I will just stop and let it start over again. But it worked. So I'm going to go ahead. You see I didn't put that real close to the edge so that I can tuck these underneath. And it looks like my fold was a little crooked, so let's see if we can fix that. All right, so for these I'm going to go ahead and you can use Seal Plus, but I'm just going to go ahead and put just a tiny bit of green glue on there. And just going to get that tucked underneath there. Try not to put it flat till I get it in because I don't want it all over my Sahara sand. I don't want the glue all over my base piece. Okay, there's that. A little bit on this piece. I didn't measure these pieces. I just tried to sort of get them about the same because I'm going to tuck them under here, so you're going to have to eyeball it anyways so that you get them to look about the same. I did measure that. I did cut them at 5.5 so that they would fit exactly that direction. All right. It looks like my black piece might be slightly skewed. Okay, there we go. I think that's just stunning. Okay, now we're ready to add this. You see how that has curled the other direction now. So I'm going to make sure I put plenty of glue on here because I want that to stay down. And I think I'm going to use green glue because I really want to get close to the edge. And both of these pieces have embossing on them. And so that's the one nice thing about green glue. It will get down in those grooves and it will hold better for you. Now I will have to hold this in place for a minute because it is, it's going to take a minute to dry. So just give, while I'm holding that, I've got paper sticking to me. Let me just talk really quick about what's up today. Today is the last day to sign up for the birthday card Stamp-A-Stack. The Stamp-A-Stack will be held on, let me look at my calendar and make sure I get this right, Saturday, January the 23rd, 9 a.m. here at my house, or you can have them to be mailed to you, or you can pick them up to go if you don't want to stamp with everybody. So these are the 5 cards we're doing. They are just beautiful. This one has some embossing in the background of both pieces here. This one uses some of our designer papers. The inside is coming out of that one. This one uses some of our punches. And this one uses some of our die cuts. So there's some beautiful cards. The cost is $42. You will make 15 cards. I don't have the Valentine card yet, but so you'll make 16 cards total for $42. With that, you will also get 2 embellishments and a half a pack of dimensionals. And what else? Oh, you can double that. You can do a double stack for $20 more. So you can get lots of birthday cards done for the whole year, and you will be good to go. All right, I think we've got that down. So make sure that you, if you didn't get the email or the text about that, you need to get to me tonight, because tonight is the last night that you can sign up for that, because I have to order all the embellishments and get them here in time. Okay, so we've got that glued down. We're ready to add this piece. And I'm not going to put that on there yet because we have some other pieces that we need to finish. And I don't want them to, I want to make sure that when we position everything that it goes together. So for this, I'm going to take, I decided that I want to use this little set of flowers here. If you're using this in pieces and fussy cutting everything, I just want to encourage you, and I should have done a sample for you, that these edge pieces are still really good to use. So I was careful when I started cutting so that I didn't disturb this, because this could easily be used for the edge of your card and you still have a really pretty, not for this design obviously, but you can still use that. All right, so I'm using Petal Pink and Mossy Meadow. I'm afraid my Mossy Meadow is going to be a little dark, but I think I used for my other card, I think I might have used some Oud Olive in that. I'm going to start with my light Petal Pink, and I'm not going to color everything. I'm just going to come in here and just sort of slop on some color, because it's okay if the edges of that are a little bit white. And you will see the design from the other side coming through. It sort of disappears when that when the ink dries, so not to worry. You see the pattern that's coming through there? It will go away when it dries. Now I'm going to come in with the dark and just put some lines in here while it's still good and wet, so that that color blend with, it's very wet with the alcohol, and that color just sort of blends in. I'm not going to go back in and do any blending like I typically would do, just because it does it itself, and it really doesn't need any help. So I tried to make sure that this looked like lines as I was coloring it on there. So yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Now let's start with this lighter Mossy Meadow. Like I said, I'm afraid it's going to be really dark, and I think I'm just going to stick to the light and just add some color in there. I'm not going to color the whole thing. Yeah, I think on my other one I used the light Mossy Meadow and the dark Oud Olive. Okay, I like that. All right, so quick and easy, and I do have most of this cut out, but I just wanted to show you that it really isn't that hard to fussy cut this pattern. I just take and I sort of turn my paper as I'm cutting. Now this paper is a little bit big, so doing it here is going to be a little tricky. I will often trim out the piece and then cut it so that I can actually, I really like to get my hand movement going rather than trying to move my scissors so much. Let me just snip that off there so that I can do that. Okay. This is beautiful too. So I think I will be wanting to use some of this. So when I have scraps left, I will probably use those pieces for the diamond design on the other side. Okay, so there's one other piece that I want to do, and I'm going to take these two pieces here, and I need to do my saying. So let's go ahead and stamp that first. And I think I'm going to use this set because we used the set for the other things on that thing that we did, the lantern. So I'm going to use the thank you from this, I believe, if I can find it. Thank you, there it is. Let me just tell you about our photopolymer stamps. So you're going to be seeing some changes. I don't think I have any yet, but inside they're going to have a sheet. This white sheet's going to go the whole way across here, and these designs will be printed on that sheet so that when you put your stamps away, you won't have to mess with this plastic all the time. You will be able to stick this right on the design, on the paper. The paper's in this little groove on the outside. So this will stick right to the plastic of your case, but you'll know what stamps are there because the design will be there. So I'm pretty excited about that. I think that's going to be a nice feature. You will see that changing as they run out of photopolymer stamps. So, and if you're putting an order in online and it pops up and says the number has changed, that just means they've gotten to the new ones and they will have the printed pieces on them. Okay, let's see. Did I really take all of my blocks out of here? Oh no, here's one. Okay, we're going to do this in black. I'm just going to use Memento. And because I haven't used this stamp yet, I usually try to roughen it up a little bit because I feel like there might be something on them that makes them not want to take ink. And I know you can't see this white on white probably. Okay. Now, I am ready to, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this foil on either side of this. So I am going to use my seal, and I'm just going to put it right to the edge of the paper, and then I'm just going to tack that on there, and I will put the pink on the top. Okay. Oops. A little bit of sticky on the inside there. I'm going to trim that because now actually I might stick this in here just so that my punch doesn't get ruined with the sticky that's on there. And I'm going to stick this in this multi tag punch, and I'm going to use the label part. And because it doesn't fit exactly the size, I'm going to actually turn it over and make sure that it's lined up here, right and left, even, so that I know it's going to punch right correctly. And now I should have brought tweezers so I could get that out of there. There we go. Okay. All right, now we're ready to build this. I really think this could go a little further, but I'm really worried about getting that out of there, so I'm not going to trim that any further. Okay. All right, so let's just sort of lay this out. That's all I do, is I just lay it out and see how I want to put it. On my a little bit bigger, so I did this straight, and I think I still could probably do that. This is going to go in here. And these flowers are a little different. So, and then one last thing, I want to add some of this ribbon. And I'll show you a really easy way to put ribbon on. I'm not going to tie it because it's going to be behind there and I don't want that extra fullness. So what I'm going to do is put dimensionals on there if I can find them, because I would like to pop this flower up. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw a bunch of dimensionals on here. And you know how I am with dimensionals. If you're going to use them, you got to use enough, okay? It's useless to use dimensionals if you're just going to have 2 spots that are sticking up and the rest of it's going to be flat when it gets to your recipient in the mail. And let me just get those peeled off. Okay. And then I'm going to take this piece of ribbon, and this ribbon has 2 sides to it. So this side is more Blushing Bride, and even towards maybe Flirty Flamingo. It's pretty bright. And this side is shiny, so it looks, but it's more Petal Pink. And our colors here are more Petal Pink. This one's a little Blushing Bride, but I really want to show the shiny side. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to fold it to make it look like it's a bow. Just like that. And I'm going to just take this and make sure that it's going to show okay. I might want to get my tails a little bit longer there. And then I can go ahead and trim my tail this side. Sure, you stick to that. All right, now this is going to go here, so I'm going to stick that right there. I'm going to go back here and I'm going to go like, okay, is everything sticking down okay? Let's add a glue dot to this ribbon right here, because I don't want that to be moving and it's not sticking down real well. So I'm just going to stick a glue dot right there, tack that down, make sure I'm still seeing my bow okay on the other side. Okay, see how simple that is? Get rid of some of these things here. All right, now we can figure where we want this to go, and I'm going to put it right there, which means I need to get this guy tacked down. I think he's tacking himself down. All right, well, that's okay. You just stay right there. We'll fix you. Okay, and then this is going to get popped up with 2 dimensionals. And we are almost finished. I want to add one more element that I didn't have on my other card, but I decided that I needed it. And that is because in this suite of products, and let me just get these little guys out of here before I get them everywhere. Okay, so we're going to add some matte black dots. These are really cool. So everything else is shiny on here. It is time for something that's not shiny, okay? So I'm going to add a couple of these just around. I think this card is so glitzy that you could probably do about 5 of these and not be overdone. So I usually try to do an uneven amount. So I have 4 there, and let's do one more large one. And I'll put that next to this one. So, okay, so again, lots of shine. I'm not loving how this one really got twisted, and I am gonna just pull that off of there. It pulled my paper off, but that's okay. It's not gonna show because it's underneath there, but I just want to get this a little less crooked. In fact, maybe I'll leave it straight so that it's straight with the card. Looks like I got a little glue there. I did find that if you take a Q-tip with some alcohol with this, with pretty much any of our foil papers, and just lightly touch it to any glue that you might have gotten on there, and I don't have any with me or I'd show you, that works pretty good to get any of that off of there and doesn't leave a mess. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed that. Again, I will post those pictures on here as well, the ones that I showed you at the beginning, so that if you want to save them, you can. I'll take a picture of this, a still of this one as well. And if you want to try that on your own, you can do that. All right, so all of the stuff I showed you is available to order right now. I would suggest that you make your wish list and you get the things you want the most. Things are going to sell out, I can promise you. There are things that are just hot and going. So what you want the most, make sure you get it first. Don't forget Celebration. When you place a $50 or more order, you will start earning Celebration things. You'll put that on your order right away. You will also, if the order is $150 or more, you will earn hostess benefits. So make sure that you add those to your order as well. This is the host code for online orders. This is not the host code if you're in a club. And again, if you're interested in knowing about my club where you earn extra benefits, please write club in the comments, and I will contact you or message me, and I will get that information to you. But Website is stampincindy.stampinup.net. And I'm so excited that you guys joined me tonight. I hope you enjoyed the project, and I hope you'll go stamp and have lots of fun. Good night. Oh, and I did want to show you what I used to create the little hanging hearts in there. You saw it probably better on the photos. So I have strips of window sheets. I just took and cut little strips, and I do have a glue dot here on the top, so not very cute. I'm sure I could find a way to hide that. But I took these papers, and I showed you these dies that I love. This is from the Have a Heart bundle, and I haven't even had time to look at the other ones yet, but I did do this one. And what it did is, this is this piece here. So what I had was I had a little heart, a little thin heart, and then a heart on the inside. So what I did was I saved both of those, and I used them. Let me think here. Oh, that was this piece here. That's this little border right here. Is that cute? That's the little border on the edge. So it is connected. Let me pull it up here so you can see how it's connected there. And so they stay all together, but they look like individual hearts when I put them in there. I do have to glue it in. I just there for now because I wanted to make sure that it's how I want it before I finish gluing that in. Okay, get that later. So that's that piece. And then I took this piece, and this is the one that gave me, it gave me a cutout heart, a thin one, and then there was a pretty heart on the inside as well. So let me just open this so that I can pull this out here and show you. So I just left the two pieces together for most of them because it looks really cool. It gives it more 3-dimension. And I also, there was one that was just a plain heart. Whoops, smashed it in the door. Next they'll be falling off. There was one single heart. It's not a plain heart, but it's a single heart, and it doesn't have that extra cutout. And so I did die cut a few of those as well. They're in different sizes, as you can see. And then this one right here, actually, yeah, just this one. This one is attached, and so I do have some of them on there that, if you can see it up here at the top, there's one that's attached. They're together, and there's one down here at the bottom. So anyways, I had a lot of fun with those. I do have to get these tucked in. Just love this foil. It is so, it's so fun and shimmery. I hope that I'm decorating, hopefully, my stamp room for class this week and this coming week. Well, starting tomorrow. And I want to have it decorated for Valentine's. And so that's what got me thinking about this as I was working with this card. So anyways, hope you like that. I did want to show you how I did those parts to add the little bit of decoration to the card project that I had and turned into a 3D project. So again, thank you for joining me. Thank you for sharing this, and have a good night. God bless.